Second World War. A period in history that has spawned what is colloquially referred to as a fuck ton of games. It's a simple premise to make a game out of because there's not really much debate on who the bad guys are. Nazis exist, shoot them.
Are we the baddies?
And shooting them we have done a lot over the years. But what if we don't need to use violence to get one up on the Jerrys? That's what Wide Games proposed in 2002 with their World War II stealth 'em up Prisoner of War. Another developer I couldn't hardly find any information on, because if you Google Wide Games, you only get pages about games like Tag, Capture the Flag and British Bulldog for example. So in a sea of Call of Duties, Medal of Honors and Battlefields, let's see what happens to those who are captured instead of killed. No specific date. Prisoner of War takes place in Germany at some point after December 1941, after the United States finally decided to get off their arse and lend a hand. Because meet our protagonist, Captain Lewis Stone of the US Air Force. A handsome chiseled featured fellow because of course he is. And since this was developed and published by two British companies, it has a wide and realistic European diversity.
1 mile to target.
Now you will remember to take the lens cap off this time.
Flying over, well, Germany, again no specifics, Stone and his comrade JD are photographing Nazi installations when the Luftwaffe shoots them down.
Okay, Fritz. Nice big smile now.
Hände hoch! Hände hoch! Drop your weapon, American!
Surviving the crash, they are quickly captured and carted off to a holding camp. As you can imagine, once incarcerated, the main aim is to not be. But it's no quick in and out. Escaping requires planning, getting to know your fellow inmates, and learning the camp routine and layout. This little pig pen should be no worry, it's merely a stop-off point.
Welcome to Camp Tutorial. Follow the rules, keep your head down, and you'll get along just fine and dandy. Don't stare at the guards. Stay away from the perimeter fence. Attend morning and evening roll call. It's not all doom and gloom. You have a place to sleep and regular meals. Don't like German food? Well, tough shit. You're a prisoner, remember? Eat it! Not to worry, this is just a holding camp. You'll be out of here soon. Off to Stalag Luft. Ha ha ha! Psych.
Anyway, Stone and JD escape the camp via the classic hiding in the back of a departing truck.
That's it. We've blown it.
At a checkpoint, JD gets cold feet and runs for a nearby forest.
JT! Don't be an idiot! JT!
Captured, again, it's off to Stalag Luft, a much bigger and real camp this time.
You the barrack officer?
Absolutely. Wing Commander Temple Smithson.
Each camp has an escape committee, a group of fellows spearheading escape attempts. And since Stone has no intention of sticking around, he joins right up.
Now, you're quartered in Barrack 2. The chaps there should make you welcome. That'll be all.
To test Stone's mettle, the committee tasks him with sneaking into the communication building and playing a record over the PA system to lift the chap's spirits, a la Shawshank Redemption. Just kidding. This stunt doesn't go unpunished, but Stone just ends up in the cooler. He's let out later and the game continues like nothing ever happened. The camp runs on a tight schedule which you can view along with your objectives, map and inventory. The only times that really concern Stone are the aforementioned morning and evening roll call. If you don't show up for these, they'll conduct a camp-wide search, so find a good hiding place until they give up way too easily. Any other times? They don't care apparently. Nowhere to be seen during afternoon free time? Who cares? Haven't shown up for dinner? Who gives a crap? Absent from morning exercise? Pfft, whatevs.
Good to see you again, sir. Anything you like the look of?
Stone can't just sneak around completely unaided. Hints and useful items can be purchased with contraband, known as currency. Bottles of alcohol, boxes of chocolates and scars, etc. are just lying around everywhere. Why do you need Stone to get it? It's right there! Grab it! A big part of Prisoner of War is learning the camp layout. There is a map, but it only becomes revealed as you explore. The mini-map is useful for the most part. It shows the guards' positions and classic field of view cone. The environment outlines, however, are quite blurry and can make it a bit tricky sometimes. New place, new people, same routine. So, escape again? Well yes, but don't worry, this actually does go somewhere. There is a plot. Let's see. Ah yes, here it is. Rumours are spreading that the Nazis are developing some kind of new secret weapon, and Stone is tasked with sneaking into the Commandant's office to steal the plans. But when escaping with them, he is caught. Again.
This must be the escaped prisoner helmet. Come with us!
Lewis, you're good at escaping, but you're terrible at staying escaped. This slippery yank is becoming quite bothersome. Where can we lock him up now?
Following your futile attempt to elude the Reich, you are to become an honored guest of its most secure fortress, Colditz.
This big imposing structure is no tougher than anywhere else, there's just more of it. The gimmick this time, if you can call it that, is that the camp is divided. The prisoner courtyard is split into two and venturing over to the other side is a no-no. Also divided is a particular prisoner, Colonel Harding.
Colonel Harding's a friend of yours.
He's been put in isolation for poking his nose regarding the secret weapon. We need to speak to him. Since Colditz is so large, getting to an objective can take longer, which can overlap to the next roll call. If Stone failed to attend one, you'd think they'd remember, but no. They will come looking for him when the next one comes around. It's a good thing they give up way too easily. He couldn't possibly be hiding that man-sized cupboard there. Let's never look in those. Invaluable items include keys, lockpicks, boot polish for night sneaking, and probably the most game-breaking item, a uniform. They're not the easiest thing to get hold of, but once you do, stealth almost goes out the window. Any officer at a higher rank than the uniform will spot you. Anybody else? Just stroll right past them, making the objective much easier. After contacting Harding, he reveals that the Nazis are working on the V5 rocket. Where? Back at Stalag Luft. You're shitting me, right? Yeah, Stone is so good at not staying escaped, he deliberately walks right back into Stalag Luft.
Kommandant, an intruder!
Well, at least there's a reason to be there this time. A new facility has popped up since his last visit. So, guess where he needs to sneak into? If the Nazis successfully launch the V5 rocket, it's game over, and they win the war. So yeah, no pressure. 5-minute time limit, no pressure!
What is wrong? Why is the launch not proceeding?
With the rocket out of commission, London is saved and we can all relax with a job well done.
This temporary setback will not affect the continuation of our research beneath the castle.
Wait, it's not over?
Prepare my car. We will leave immediately for Colditz.
Oh, come on! Stone has no choice but to follow him, hitching a ride in the boot of his car much to the General's amusement.
So, you try to escape in my car? Only to end up inadvertently transferring yourself straight into another prison camp.
Okay, now what? Colonel Harding has pretty much been taken out of the picture, but the escape committee know he's been sneaking in and out of the castle's chapel attic. I won't dwell too much on this final chapter, as it feels a tad unnecessary and this review's getting on a bit already. The sabotage of the V5 rocket felt like a good place to end, but I suppose Stone has to actually escape for good. Anyway, Harding's escape plan.
But Colonel Harding is a secretive fellow. What was he working on in the chapel attic? Better take a gander. Careful opening that door, there's a spoiler inside. Well, spank my bottom with a copy of Mein Kampf.
Well, I don't think anyone was expecting that. This elaborate escape attempt is based on reality, but it was never actually flown due to the American liberation of the castle.
A glider? You must be imagining things.
I know my airplanes, Major, and this one looked pretty real to me.
Well, I'll be blowed.
This may have a cool ending, but it still feels a bit tacked on. The real reason Stone returns to Colditz is to further thwart the Nazis' plan. And no, it's nothing worse than the V5 rocket, it's just more V5 rocket-related shenanigans. And that feels a bit anticlimactic. But hey, we can add the glider thing at the end to make up for that.
That sorrow never comes to stay.
This was a pleasant alternative during the height of the Call of Duty Medal of Honor dick-waving contest. It's a little rough around the edges, but it's still enjoyable. The gameplay and the plot is what makes this. The characters, however, they're pretty forgettable. They all kind of blend together. I can never remember who to ask for advice or to buy stuff from. Having their names appear above their head when you approach them would have been useful. But again, its charm outweighs its flaws. The final chapter at Colditz is like the Toy Story 4 of the game. Unnecessary, but still enjoyable.
There'll come another day, and then together in sunny weather we'll wander hand in hand. Shadows will vanish, true love will banish all life's misunderstandings. The world will glow with